Coming right back at you on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show, Season 5. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, Jake the Snake Schultz, Derek Brandeo. We are live on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, Sportsnet 650 in Vancouver, 960 in Calgary, Sportsnet Plus, and always posted on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Following our show, if you can't catch us live. Plenty to get into, including Bill Guerin, general manager, Minnesota Wild, after that historic contract between him and Kirill the Thrill, or what do they call him now?
Kirill the Bill.
The Dollar Bill.
Kirill the Rich.
Yes, he's doing well.
Always a fun guest, Billy Guerin, and of course, plenty more throughout the National Hockey League, including a very big signing with the New Jersey Devils and their young star defenseman, Luke Hughes.
Yeah, he's going to be there for a while. If the Hughes family's going to pick a place to settle, sounds like they've picked one.
Just a natural domino effect off of Kirill's signing, that if New Jersey was contemplating making Luke work a little harder for a number, did that just yesterday's signing just say, wave the white flag and just
do you
give
think it's
him
related?
63?
Like, he's a D-man, he's 22. Like, there's really no connection between the two outside of.
No, there's not. But I don't know if there's not a direct relation, but there is that overall ripple effect that teams now know that there's a new feel for where contracts are going.
There's an article in The Athletic today interviewing agents, and one of the comments from one of the agents was that he doesn't think that the salary cap ceiling is going to be even what they projected to be. He thinks it's going to be even higher. Like, he thinks the numbers are going up. So these guys who can lock in now, if that's true, lock in before these guys see what could be an even higher ceiling. Kip, and tell me if I'm crazy here, I don't love this for a guy like Luke Hughes. Like, he had 47 points as a 21-year-old D-man in the league. If he is a 60 or 70-point D-man at 22.
He's still learning his craft. Has he played 150 career games?
No way.
But like from both, no. Well, yes, he has. He played 82
Sam,
and 71.
he's
153 at least.
Played,
155.
I thought he was hurt for like the whole year last year.
He played 71 last year.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah. So
90% sure.
he's in a
155. You're right, Kip.
155.
Yep.
Like, okay, whether it's Kirill or Luke or anyone else is coming down the path, I don't begrudge anybody for getting whatever they can. Okay, at the end of the day, careers are short. Get the money, get whatever you can out of it. It's not necessarily Kirill, it's not necessarily Luke. It's the system that is probably the most frustrating thing. And like, Luke Hughes is a prime example of our league now, more so than the NBA or the NFL or anyone or any other thing I can think of, is where we now have to pay top dollar on potential. It's Luke's done nothing other than break into a league and show tremendous promise at a much higher rate than most. But you're giving him now $9 million on what we think he should become.
$63 million over the whole thing. It's crazy.
There's something wrong with that.
But I don't even see that as they have to do that. They don't have to do it. They're making a bet that they're going to save a whack of money. This is an attempted buying low. And, you look around the NHL. I look at the Minnesota Wild. So Kaprizov's making 17 AAV coming up for 8 years. Matt Boldy's making 7 flat for the next 6 years. And you get Anaheim and McTavish's deal, and Troy Terry's making less than McTavish, or the same amount because he did 5-6 years. I think for a guy like Luke Hughes, yeah, I know it's security, and I know he hasn't done it yet. I think he's leaving money on the table, lots of money on the table. If he's a 70-point defenseman at age 23,
I know.
he's $15 million.
It's the if, though. You're not really – it's the if that's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's the if he gets hurt, if he doesn't become the guy, if – I don't – again, I don't see other leagues going, okay, that guy's
Could be good.
What was the
Could
guy?
be good. Let's give him $100-200 million.
What was the general manager in Phoenix at the time that was doing all those?
Chaika?
Yeah, he did a ton of these. Remember, he did it with
The Isles did
Chikrin.
them too.
Did it with Chikrin. He did it with Keller, right? I want to say he did it with. There's one other guy that he did it with, where he's trying to like project forward, and it's risky. But Kipper, that's how you end up with
Hedging's dangerous.
It's dangerous, but it also in a cap world is so important to hit on a couple of these. Like I get why they're doing it because, like Bourne said, this guy could be a
You can't miss
stud.
You can't. It's not just trying to hit on a couple of these. You can't get one wrong.
But even if they're just okay, like Jack Hughes did this long deal for $8 million before he earned it, right? When he was real young,
Yeah.
he did an $8 million a year deal. If he's okay, what's an $8 million player now?
Yeah.
Like if he's okay, he's worth 8. He might be worth 15. He might. Could he not be a 100-point guy this year in year 3 of his 8-year deal? Like, I'm on your. I get what you're saying that it's risky.
Here's the other problem I have with this system is that it makes one of the first questions about someone like Luke or Kirill. It makes one of the first questions to them is like, are you being too greedy?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And are you, is it selfish? Is it a selfish move to ask for so much money and not take in how it affects the rest of the team? And if it's not on the players, for me, it's on the system.
But I mean, who would you say has the best contract in the league right now?
Jack Hughes one's pretty good.
What about Quinn Hughes?
Yeah.
I mean, he's making like all the best contracts.
Connor.
Yeah, well, I mean, Connor's a different, but all the quote unquote best contracts in the league were when they gambled on these things and they turn out great and you save on the cap. It's a gamble, but anyways.
Okay, let's go to our first guest. As promised, general manager of the Minnesota Wild and a guy that's causing a lot of conversation on this show.
Been thinking about this stuff.
Billy Guerin joins us. Billy, thanks for doing this. Congratulations on getting your star player signed. But, with it comes a lot of talk around it. And I know that as an organization, you're probably well prepared for it. But, overall, the feeling of needing to get this done and how important it was to you, your owner, and the franchise.
First of all, thanks for having me on, fellas. Good to see you again. Good to talk to you. Listen, I was just kind of listening to you guys while I was in the green room. But yeah, we're definitely kind of going into a new world. It's different because we've never before known the ballpark of what the next 3 years are really going to bring.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the difficulty I think lies. The agents and the PA, they see this growing cap, and well, it might be a lot today, but it's not going to be a lot, in 3 years when the cap's really high and going to continue to grow. So that's the difficult thing. I'm sure, there are guys out there now from kind of the old cap that seem to be on great deals. But look, we all signed contracts, and that's just kind of it. But they were great contracts at the time. I mean, listen, nobody's going hungry. Everybody's surviving this. It's just kind of, a different world that we're living in right now. But, for us, for us, I think every player has different value in different situations, different cities, whatever it is. For us, Kirill's our franchise player. He means a great deal to the Minnesota Wild, to our market, to his teammates, and to get him locked up for 8 years plus the existing year that he has on his contract, so 9 years, is huge for us. We didn't want him going anywhere. We didn't want to take a step back. We've been building for 5 years, 6 years, and that could have been more difficult being without him than just saving cap space and going forward like that. As you guys well know, if there's a trade involved or you let him walk, you never get the same value back.
Right. So negotiating a contract of this size, and it's the biggest one in NHL history, does it lead to any resentment on your part or anyone's part when you're like, gosh, we're offering you so much, why is that not enough? Or is it like, I totally understand, get your money, you're only a player once? How does that, I mean, personally feel as you're going through that process?
Well, I can't imagine what some of the great players before me said.
Yeah.
Mike Bossy never didn't score 50 goals.
That's insane.
And he didn't make what a 15 goal scorer makes now. Yeah. So it's all relative. Like for me, you know what? It's just getting used to this new world. Yeah. And you know what? We're paying guys at a younger age. We're paying them more for what they're going to do as opposed for what they have done. Mm-hmm. Which I think is better. You paying when the players are on the rise. We kind of try to have to make an educated bet on some of these young guys if we want to go long. Others we go shorter on with these bridge deals that, again, nobody's going hungry on a bridge deal. It's a different world. And, for a guy like me that played and, yeah, it's different, but so it was when we were looking at, comparing salaries and, we've got some great players for the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards makes like $46 million.
Is that good? Seems good.
I think so. I think he could probably buy a new car or something like that. maybe a cabin up north. And then you look at Major League Baseball and the NFL and, but the revenues support the amount that the players are being paid, and for us it's keeping an elite player. It's keeping one of the top players in the league with our team, and the fact that he chose to sign this long-term deal with us, I think says how much he loves it here, how much he likes the organization. He believes in what direction we're going in, and that he wants to spend the rest of his career in Minnesota, living in Minnesota, playing for these fans and being in this market.
You're watching and listening to the general manager of the Minnesota Wild, Bill Guerin. So, Bill, in our era, a guy signs, you're just happy for him, but it was never about how that signing's going to affect my signing. The reality in a hard salary cap is that's the case here. So with the announcement of the next 3 years or where the cap's going, the feeling is that if whatever it's going up, well, you just gave it all to one guy, and now what's left to build off of that or improve this hockey club? Is that a fair feeling? Do you feel like okay, whatever money I had in the future, I've given it to Kirill for the next few years, and how do I add to that? How do I build off of that?
Yeah, listen, like we didn't just offer up 17 right away. Obviously, we started lower than that. We would have preferred that, but listen, they have other plans too. They were higher than that at one point in time. Listen, he's an elite player. Elite players get elite money. We have to work around that. I feel confident in being able to do that because we have guys like Matt Boldy, like Joel Eriksson, like Marco Rossi, like Brock Faber on good deals. For long term, I think the core of our team really is locked up. Could it affect some other guys along the way? Yeah. But that's a cap system. That's always going to be the case. It was when we signed Kirill. It was when we signed Boldy. It was when we signed every single player. They all affect each other, some more than others. But again, it's a cap world, and you have to make your decisions.
Yeah, some of the contracts that you do have there are exceptional, and that Faber one is really favorable for you guys. He's a fantastic hockey player, obviously Boldy as well. Looking at your
Bourne, did you say favorable?
favorable, if I didn't, I will from now on. Looking at some of the young guys you have reason to be excited. Saw some of the Calder odds. Buyam, I believe, was second to Demidov. Is some young talent with the Wild right now.
Yeah, there is, and you know what? That's part of what I talked about before. We've spent, the last 5 or 6 years while we had those cap situations. You know what? We spent the last 5 years like drafting, developing, not trading away high picks. And we're starting to see kind of the fruits of our labor like come to fruition here. Mm-hmm. We've waited a while to get guys like Buyam, to get Danila Yurov, to get Liam Ogren. Now Hunter Haight as a second-round pick is making a push to make the team. These guys are starting to emerge, and that's really what we've been waiting for.
Just, I want to take you, Billy, back to memory lane a little bit in the early 2000s when you ended up signing a pretty big contract. It wasn't by any stretch, I think, the highest paid salary, but you signed in Dallas, I think, in the early 2000s at $9 million a year. That's when it was like a lot of money back then.
That's what we refer to as the good old days.
2002, man. The skinny jeans, and I think a dancing Elmo was around.
Never skinny jeans.
When I was with Bill at Islanders camp, Bill was getting paid by 3 teams. He was doing pretty good. So.
Listen, my point is, if it's one guy that can maybe relate to maybe the pressures of making so much money on a team, and could you relate now to Kirill a little bit of signing a big contract and having expectations really high, and maybe it's even tougher for Kirill because he's making twice as much as the next guy. And, maybe the worry that he's going to have to think he's going to go out and have to do twice the work or twice the production, or like, is it crossed, conversations about trying to manage this expectation?
It crosses my mind a lot. And I told Faber this when he signed his deal, don't change who you are. And I said the beauty of hockey players is their humility, their desire to earn their contract, to make sure that they are, producing and performing in a way that they earn their money. They're not, the hockey players aren't the types of guys that say, hey, I got the big deal, I'm going to cruise now for the next so many years. And we want Kirill and Faber and Boldy and all these guys that sign big deals. Just be yourself. It's tough. There's we saw it with Trennan last year, who signed a long-term deal with us. He put so much pressure on himself to just try to be that guy and try to earn his money, when all we really wanted was just be yourself and play the way that you're supposed to play. I went through it when I signed with Dallas. And, I remember talking to Doug Armstrong. He's like, don't worry about the number of goals. Don't worry. Play your brand of hockey. Be yourself. Bring what you bring to the table. That's really why we signed you. And, as a GM now, I see it clearer than ever. We don't want the guys to change. They earn the contract because of what they've done and what they're going to do. We don't want them to put all that pressure on themselves. Just go out and play hard and be yourself, and things will happen.
Absolutely. So last year, you guys finished 4th in your division. When you look around, have things shifted at all? Winnipeg, Dallas, Colorado, St. Louis is good. Utah is good. Where do you see your guys' division compared to the rest of the league? It looks like one of the better divisions.
It's unbelievable. It's like, going through the meat grinder in our division. It's so tough, and everybody's good. You know what? That's why, honestly, you have to be dialed in coming out of training camp. We have to be focused. We have two division games in our first 3 games, and they're tough. We start off on the road against St. Louis. We come home, play Columbus, and then the next night we're back in Dallas. Like, there's just no off nights. And, we had a good first 30, 35 games of the season last year, and that really helped us in the second half. So, we want to get off to the same great start and and perform, because I mean, they're, it's not like, back when we played, you could kind of, most teams made the playoffs. It's not like that anymore. It's 50-50. So there are must wins in October and November. You have to be ready to go. You can't take off. You can't have off nights.
On top of that, Bill, just the balance between your duty as general manager of the Wild and getting a USA team ready for the Olympics, and obviously how the Four Nations kind of maybe put the pedal to the metal in terms of must-win tournaments now for you. How do you do it?
Yeah, well, hey, you know what? You're only you can never do this stuff on your own. And you know what? I'm grateful that here at the Wild and with Team USA, I have great people around me. With Team USA, I've got Chris Keller, who's one of my assistant GMs here. Billy Zito, Chris Drury, Tom Fitzgerald, and Stan Bowman. We do things as a group. We're all looking at players. We're all, giving our opinions on decisions. I'll make the final decisions on things, but you know what? I have a lot of smart people around me, and I listen to them all the time.
Always fun having you on the show, Bill. Man,
thanks, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
If I do find a pair of skinny jeans somewhere, like what's your waist?
Oh God, I'm like, honestly, my weight. I'm like a 50-28. Like Kyper, I got some old Gerbos still hanging in my closet. I'll break those out.
Hey, I got one more for you before you leave. Yesterday's press conference, or whatever I saw yesterday, did you go home and get in trouble for dropping an F-bomb?
But my wife's from New Jersey. She swears way more than I do.
Non-concerned.
It's not an issue.
Not an issue. Very well said. Thanks for doing this. Have a great start to the season, man.
Thanks, guys. Talk soon.
Yeah, good luck. Thanks.
Bill Guerin, Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, got a Long Island wife myself. It's relatable.
I love that guy.
You can have fun with that guy.
Yeah.
That humility comes from him first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he has it in spades.
And he's right. He's like, some situations, some teams, some places, you got to get the player. You got to have the player.
Mm-hmm.
So,
See, this is where they were kind of sitting ducks. That was established by the owner with, we'll give him whatever it takes. So first comes, I need a superstar. I need to appease my season ticket holders. Yeah. I got sponsors. I got television ratings, whatever the case is, it starts with a star. Mm-hmm. After that, we'll figure it out. And Bill pretty much admitted it on our interview that it's about building around him, whatever that means. Yeah. We're going to build around him. So he's the first priority. Trying to figure out how to win is second.
Yeah.
A lot of teams do it the other way around.
For sure. But I get where they're coming from. I think they, it is, as much as this is a maybe not great precedent for some other players on your team or what your priorities are, I think they had to do it. And part of why I think they had to do it is looking at the way they're constructed. And he mentioned a lot of the young guys they have, but like prime Faber, prime Eriksson Ek, they have a lot of these guys up and coming. And if all of a sudden you remove the star guy and say we're going into
But is it enough? Right?
I don't know that it's enough, but the Wild have won one round in 10 years and been to the conference final once in 20 years. They need to be in the playoffs. They need the fans to care. So it's kind of like the Flames. The Flames won't just strip it down either.
They refused to let him go and gave him a number that surprised us all.
Well, and, he may well have intended to go somewhere else, but at some point they offer you so much money, you go, all right.
So
got to do it.
Just to go quickly back to our conversation about the risk involved in some of these contracts, okay? So I was Googling while you guys were on with Bill.
Yeah.
And just like the best, so this is from The Athletic. Dom wrote it about the best value contracts in the NHL, okay? So this is just going through here. Jack Hughes seemed like a big risk when they signed it to give him all that money for all that term. Turned out to be excellent. Brendan Hagel, right? Oh. I mean, it was everyone kind of popped their eyes at that one when it was signed. But again, he makes $6.5 million, boys,
And he's going to score 90 points and kill
for
penalties.
7 years.
Yeah. Oh, that hurts.
Seth Jarvis, he's at 7.4 for 7 years. Like, you go through these. Reinhart, I think, is one that's a little bit of a different situation, but it's an excellent one. Like, there are some risks involved in these contracts, and I think it's not going to be long before you look at Hughes and be like, that's one of the best contracts in the league.
Well, and also
I know that the precedent of giving a guy who's played 150 games, $63 million is crazy, but in a cap world, you have to take a risk.
He's also talking about paying the guys for what they're going to do, and your point is they haven't done it yet. But sometimes when you pay the guys who've done it, they don't do it again.
Correct.
When you're paying for the past. You can miss either way.
What about the Gunther one in Utah? I was going to say in Phoenix. But he signed a contract for 7.1 times $8 million.
And he had, 80 games under his belt, 100 games?
Yeah, but he's going to be a stud, Kip. He fires it in the net constantly. Like, he's a Team Canada type guy in the future. Like, there's a risk involved in it.
There's no guarantees in sport.
I get it.
Including the most important, and you can't, is the whether or not a guy can get hurt or he just doesn't show that he's
would you say
reliable.
Would you say the Hyman contract was one of those when it was signed? That people were like, 5.5 for that long. It was like, oh my God.
With him getting 5.
Didn't.
know, I've been trying to think of one that didn't pan out. And
there's a few. Don't get me wrong.
Jack Eichel in Buffalo when he signed 10.
Yeah.
And then it was a miserable run.
Yeah.
It was just.
Mine is Matthias Samuelsson, D-man for Buffalo. He did like 4.5 times 8 or something, and I didn't know his name. And since then, he's okay. I don't think he's earned that one yet. Maybe there's still time. He's young. He's 25, but.
Anyways, I think there's a good argument on both sides of it.
You know what? Bill just touched on it a little bit. Is the league announces what the salary cap's going to be for the next 3 years?
Yeah.
Like, why did they need to do that? If they didn't, I think there's a very good chance Kirill's 17 doesn't exist.
Interesting. So, like, it's a year-by-year thing that they announce at the start of every season?
Yeah, they go next year. The cap's projected to be this.
But
what they did is they put a ton of pressure on general managers and owners now to hit marks for contracts 3 years from now because we know exactly what that number is. Without it, it gets a little grayer.
Counterpoint. Maybe the NHL saw that it's going to go up so much that this gives GMs the chance to lock in at what are essentially artificial salary caps. If they are higher than what they're projected to be, these guys are locking in at caps that aren't reality. This could help the GMs. I don't know. How much do you think the caps are going to go up? Do you think potentially more than what they're at?
But yeah,
this could help the GMs if they're talking about 3 years from now.
How much more revenue is out
it's
there?
120.
How much more revenue is out there? How many? Can you raise ticket prices? Is there another television deal in the U.S. coming in 2 years that you project will blow the last one out of the water? Like, is there more patches that you can put on a jersey, more stickers on a helmet? Right?
Thankfully.
So, if there's more revenue out there to drive your $7 billion to $9 billion to $10 billion, I guess, then you're right.
Right.
But
Players Association loves that they announced it early. Because for this reason, you have a guy making $17 million forecasting what he's going to make down in the future. I think that the Players Association will be pretty excited about it. But
yeah,
anyways, it's a good chat with Bill.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Players Association at the end of the day. It's not. It might be driving a salary up for a particular superstar, but it's not driving the salaries up. It's just redistributing it somewhere else.
That's fair.
They're not going up. We know what the number is. We don't care. The league doesn't care where you spread it around. Give him 19. Give the other guy 7. Doesn't matter. Just I know it's going to equal the same amount.
Yeah, assuming you're going to spend it all. I don't know that teams will, but
well, that's a whole new ball game here because in a flat cap, everybody can kind of stay tight. But what does this do for the Winnipegs and the Ottawas of the world now moving forward for the next 5-7 years? Are they going to be able to support a $150 million U.S. salary cap?
Yeah, it does feel like the flat cap was the time should have been time for small market teams, not time for Florida and Tampa Bay and tax.
Going to start separating again. Sam.
Thank God. Quickly, last thing on the long-term contracts that didn't work out. I looked at the John Chaika ones that he did in Phoenix. It was Christian Dvorak. He signed. He gave $26 million over 6 years for Christian Dvorak, which Christian Dvorak's very thankful for getting that contract.
Yep.
And Nick Schmaltz, he gave 7 years, and he gave him $40 million over those 7 years. And Nick Schmaltz is okay. Yeah. So, like, those are two of the ones that you wouldn't say were, like, the highest risk, best ones. But anyways.
Can I tell you the one I remember because it was my era and from my American League team? The Islanders liked Franz Nielsen.
Right.
He was like 20. They gave him 4 years at league minimum, which is $525 at the time. And he scored 40 points, 20 goals, shootout specialist, made minimum for a pretty decent length. Andrew McDonald, they did that too.
Yeah.
So Garth Snow. He was ahead of the time.
Franz Nielsen, backhand Chad, every time.
Yeah. Literally named the blog Backhand Shelf after.
He would not be able to. Anyways, let's go.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we return, plenty more around the National Hockey League, including we'll get Sam's prediction on who the Jays are going to play Saturday. Welcome back to the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. Sammy?
Yep.
Liked watching baseball yesterday.
Fabulous ball game between the Red Sox and Yankees last night, boys. Holy.
It was intense. Like, not a fan of either team, and it was like, ooh, this is nerve-wracking.
They flashed this Yankees fan in the crowd, and he was like, had his head in his hands. And I was like,
see your
and
future.
then realized I was like, oh, crap, that's me in 3 days.
What do you think now? Boston is a little scarier than New York for the Jays?
I think if you have to face Crochet in game 1 and game 5 potentially, that's really scary. And
Chapman to close out games is.
Oh my gosh.
He gave up 300
up in the zone, 101,
windburned.
and then throws at 87 splitter.
Yeah, he gave up 3 straight singles, maybe on 3 straight pitches. And then it was like, he's like, okay, now I can start. And they didn't touch another pitch for the rest of it. It's ridiculous. I think the Yankees, I'm hoping that they win tonight to kind of stretch it out, use more arms, a little more tired coming in for Saturday. But got a bad feeling Red Sox are just going to blow past them tonight.
All right, the Edmonton Oilers have themselves a new goaltender. So, JB, is this the goalie that convinces Connor McDavid to now sign?
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. I'd say that'll do it.
Right.
That's Sam's.
That should do the trick.
Little tongue-in-cheek on
Yes.
Connor Ingram, now an Edmonton Oiler. But do you like the move? Do you?
Yes,
you
I
think
do like
that,
the move.
This will put pressure on Skinner to get off to a great start with him over his shoulder. What does this do?
Yeah, we talked about the ways. What is it that happens where McDavid wakes up and he goes, today's the day? Seeing a huge contract signed by Kirill and that commitment to the organization, and imagining the peace of getting things settled before going into the season with this hanging over your head. Could that be something? Getting Ingram and feeling good that you have maybe another guy who's capable of getting hot. Could that help? It doesn't hurt Kip. And I think to nudge it towards him being like, all right, let's just 2-3 years. Let's not talk about this for a bit. Let's try to win a Stanley Cup. I can see it helping.
I do think that this is maybe some Pickard insurance in terms of what Pickard has been at times in his career versus. I don't think they're going to be like Connor Ingram. You're now the starting goalie. I think it's a lot like what we were hoping he'd be here in Toronto. No, where he's a guy that can. He cleared waivers, right? So that they traded for him so he can stay there and his money doesn't count against the cap. So I think that's why they did it that way, right? Wouldn't that be the way they did it?
Sorry, explain what you're saying there.
When you go down, listen, I am far from a cap expert, but this is what I've gathered.
Yeah.
Since the reason they didn't claim him is because his number would have counted against the cap. And since he cleared, then they traded for him and his cap hit doesn't count against him as he's playing in the minors. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah,
on
I'm
that
not
one.
sure how that works. I mean, they got the guy, if he's on the team, you get his cap hit.
But I thought he was in the. Anyways, I'm an idiot, so don't listen to me. But I do think that it's
Maybe
a good.
allows them to send him down or something different.
Maybe.
I'm not
So-
sure on that. We'll look into that, folks.
Something that you may have a
Just a
little bit
hockey
more
show,
of
I don't
insight on is off-ice issues for Connor Ingram,
Yeah.
including an obsessive-compulsive OCD,
hmm
and that's gone on record as led to excessive drinking for him.
Yep.
He's coming from Arizona, Utah. I think he's managed one season at 50 games, but is there a big difference between now taking him from that market
hmm
into Edmonton market, Canada, and I don't know, the worrisome about, his issues?
For sure. I have no doubt in my mind that someone would have claimed Ingram if they were not a little concerned that, he's been in the program a couple times. I think once was he lost a family member. I think his mother passed away. But yeah, I think there's concern that maybe he hasn't had the ability to stay in the lineup. And that's, I did the radio show with Anthony Stewart for years, and he loved the line that the best ability is availability.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not someone who can be counted on, that matters. So certainly I think teams would have considered that. For the Oilers, though, they know what Skinner can be at his best and how good he can be in playoffs. I think, to your point, they just like him as insurance a little bit more than the next guy, and I think he has a higher ceiling. So roll the dice. And then in terms of the Edmonton market, I think it helps or it hurts. I don't think it's a wash. I think maybe it dials him in and he's excited to be there and they get the best out of him, or maybe it is too much, Kip, and I think you don't know till you try.
I'm sure these conversations have been ongoing ever since the first thought of maybe adding him to the roster, and you build, I guess, or you don't build, you have the best support system that you can possibly give him to give him the best opportunity.
Totally.
I mean, what's left to do after that?
No, at the end of the day, I think about how for the Toronto Maple Leafs, they were entering the season. You went between Stolarz and Wall, one of those two guys is going to be good and they should be okay. I think now you can look at the Oilers and say between Skinner and Ingram, I like the odds of one of those two guys having a good run, a good season. So they got a couple of guys you like. I think it's a great move. Curious why exactly the trade thing, if there was money retained or.
There was.
Was there? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think
That makes a lot of sense.
I don't think they're picking up 1.9. I can't remember the number.
Utah's retaining $800K.
There you go.
Yeah.
So now he's a league minimum guy. He's
Yes.
essentially no risk. You trade, I think it was futures that went the other
Future
way.
considerations. Yeah.
I like it. I really like it for the Oilers. He should help them.
I think it does lend to how tough of a market it is right now for 32 teams to find two quality goaltenders.
Which is
Like,
funny.
There's a lot of teams right now that would love to change their back end or their goaltending, and there's nothing out there. Like, I mean, would Marc-Andre Fleury still sit there and go, "Am I sure?" Wanna hang him up?
Every insider, and now you included, has been like, I don't think this guy's done. Everyone thinks Fleury's coming back.
Well, because he won't go away.
Yeah.
Well, you're not
That's
wrong.
also
Yeah, right. Like in January, you can see him being like, well,
I'm bored.
Yeah, let's see if I can kick a couple 2-pad stacks.
You can
out.
only go to Costco with the wife so many times.
Yeah, it's not impossible to see. But I've always felt with goaltending that there's like 10 awesome goalies in the world, 12, whatever. And then there's maybe another 10 or 12 that are really good. And then the next 60 guys are kind of interchangeable to me. Is the worst NHL guy and the best AHL guy, are they any different? No chance. So I think you just get a guy in his career prime who's off a good summer and feeling healthy, and you cross your fingers and hope he catches fire. What else can you do?
All right. I did not catch Montreal and Ottawa, but I did catch a couple of highlights.
Oh my God.
Punchy match.
Like, I think these two teams are well aware that we both can't make the playoffs this year. So,
Oh, do you think?
one of us has got to go, and it ain't
Two
going to be
jack
us.
eyes in one scrum was
That's the sense I
terrifying,
got last night out of that rivalry.
Can there be a greasier player in NHL recent history than Nick Cousins? I mean, my God, the slash on Demidov is just like, why are you always getting fined and suspended? Stop. The year just started.
It hasn't started.
It hasn't started, and he's already been fined.
Kipper,
Nice
you'll know
message
this.
sending.
You'll know this. When I was a kid, like preseason was a jungle. Like
Total.
every game, I remember when I was like, I mean, pour over the tapes, but like I remember watching preseason games when I was younger, being like, "Oh my God, someone's gonna die out there." It was way
It
scarier.
was a series of tests.
You had a bunch of AHL guys being like, I'll fight
Right.
everyone until they keep me.
Yeah. Want to fight again?
Yeah.
Some of those, like
You fight a bunch in
Philly,
exhibition.
Philly, and Washington. We had guys diving into benches,
Yeah, that was this last night.
and it would be like
Great drop.
somebody would most definitely be arrested
Yeah,
after our exhibition games in the 80s,
I believe it.
90s.
And last night at
Early
times
90s.
looked like it between these two teams. Good on them both.
Oh, here we go.
Jack Eye going absolutely to
Oh,
town.
oh my! On McEwen too. Like
And- that was unbelievable. Struvel's
God.
on force back there. He can skate. He's
I'll go back to Four Nations.
good for Ottawa.
And
Look
there,
at this.
In there.
I'll go back to Four Nations in the 9 seconds.
Yeah.
Like this stuff's making its way back.
I don't disagree that there has been everyone projects where the NHL is going to go. It's all speed and skill, and then
Pendulum.
it can only go so far. It's a physical contact competitive sport. This element is whether the fighting's always there or not. This element of intimidation is going to be there.
And if you have two Jack guys on your team, that's gonna drive things up a little bit.
Pair of jacks,
I mean, yeah, Leafs gonna have to face two Jack guys, and
two jack guys, two black guys.
honestly, in game one, like, so they're gonna send out Pizzetta to deal with those guys. Like, it's
like, oh,
you know, it's
God.
good. You know, everybody hated on Ryan Reeves for 2 years,
Yeah.
but like, it was nice having a heavy to kind of have to deal with these guys in the division, like the McEwen and Jack guys.
that is like
All-
send
all-
one of them
all
down.
of a sudden-
Right?
Pizzetta.
All of a
Florian
sudden,
too.
like a guy like Nick Robinson cannot, right? Can't put him on the fourth line on,
No, you gotta-
on one night.
No, you got to deal with. I mean, Lorentz isn't going to fight anybody. Lawton might look at him funny, but he's not going to fight. Callan's not going to fight. I guess it's Joshua, right? Like, who else?
Joshua fought Giordano last year.
Yeah, he's not exactly a heavy. He's willing. Anyways,
Yeah.
I got a couple quick true or false if you want them.
We do.
NHL ones. Yeah, quick ones.
All right.
Nothing crazy, but just a little something to chat about here. Okay, how about this one to start? Because this is Kipper's favorite player. True or false? This is the year Connor Bedard scores 30+ goals.
Absolutely true. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I think this is the year he does.
You picked a low
30.
number,
I did. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
what's his career high, do you think? I looked at it, I was surprised.
22 or something.
It is.
I'll
23.
go 36.
36 goals.
Yeah, 36, 37 goals.
Wow.
It's a good number.
Okay.
20 years old this year. Just
20
turned.
years old this year.
He turned in July. He turned 20. So
Uh,
this season he'll be a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
God, he's still so young.
Yeah. He's almost had 70 points last year.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh, this kid's a bust."
What's his plus
Take a
minus
breath.
in his two
Well,
seasons?
they've been. Yeah. It's
Are they any better?
Minus 80.
Are they any better?
Minus 8.
Are they any better?
Oh,
No, hold on. How do you dig a pit at a minus 80?
Mine,
How
you
do
don't.
you get back to level by the end of your career?
minus 80 in 2 seasons. That's a lot
You
of.
got to make one season payment at a time at plus 10.
That's a lot of pucks entering the net when you're on the ice, man.
Okay, I'll take back the 37 goals.
Yeah, they stink still. They still stink.
They're still banking on
I think he's just such a
one more year.
pure shooter that he's just naturally gonna find a way to score 35.
He's also the guy who's going to have the puck in every situation. Like Frank Nazar might help him out a little
Yep.
bit.
All right, what else you got for us?
Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and Chris Letang all finished this year with the Pittsburgh Penguins. True or false?
No, false.
Do you want to name which ones? I'll say
That's
No,
why-
it's a true or false question. It's not a name.
True or false?
It's not an essay question. I'll say true.
True.
I don't think Dubas wants to be the guy to trade the legends. I just don't.
False.
He does
Which
wanna
one of
be the
those
guy?
three is most likely to go? All three?
False. That's all I was
Come on.
asked to do.
I almost swore. I almost dropped an F-bomb. You're pissing me off.
We're playing a true and false game, not
Oh
the.
my God! Stop being so obtuse. Which one of them's going?
Listen, he's notorious for playing by the rules.
I don't see Crosby finishing the season.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't.
With Pittsburgh.
With Pittsburgh.
Gino
will probably be gone too.
Package deal.
But I don't know if Gino wants to
the
leave.
Flyers.
Gino could end up easily in Florida.
What's the most insulting place for Crosby to go? And is it Philly?
False.
Washington. Toronto.
I don't know. I'm just answering true or false.
True or false? This is Alex Ovechkin's last season in the NHL.
Yes, true.
I think false. I think he likes money. They'll give him another contract.
Oh, you don't think Dynamo is going to come up with some weird Russian deal for him?
What's the next milestone? What is
1,000 goals, I guess.
Yeah, what's he need?
He's got to be at 8.
So he needs 2 more years.
I think he's.
What's
3
Russia's
more
version
years.
of the
He's not going to get
aspiration
1,000
deal
goals.
Kawhi got?
He's not going to get 1,000 goals, right?
Let me look.
Is he near 900? Is that where we're at right now?
He
passed 900.
What's he at?
He is at 897.
897. We got to celebrate that again.
Oh, the first ever guy to get to the bonk. Turn off the TV.
Yeah, I think he's contemplating packing it in.
To get another 100 goals, he needs 3 seasons.
Okay, quickly.
Well,
True,
at least.
So you're both false? Oh, no, sorry. True. Both true.
True.
That is
True
last
that
season.
this is last year.
True or false? The same amount of Canadian teams make the playoffs this season as last year. 5 of 7 made it last year. Only 2 to miss for Vancouver and Calgary. So 5 Canadian teams. True or false?
This may be the first year that going into it, 0 of them are openly bad. 0 of them are projected to miss. Like Calgary had 96 points, tied for the last playoff spot, and missed on tiebreaker last year. Almost had 6 teams in last year. There's not one of them that I'm like, they couldn't do it. Yeah, I think 5 get in.
Toronto. I don't think Montreal makes it.
Ooh, bold.
Can Toronto, Ottawa, and Montreal make it?
No.
In the
Toronto
East?
and Ottawa are making it, and Montreal is.
Tampa and Florida are going to make it.
Yeah.
So then you.
So the only chance is if they get 5 out of the Atlantic and 3 out of
they
the
do.
Metro.
3 in the Pacific, right? Vancouver,
Do you think-
Edmonton, Calgary.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
think
just talking
Calgary's-
about the East for now, but yeah.
Calgary's going to make it.
I think 5 is a safe bet.
I think so too.
Do I have time for one more? True or false? Macklin Celebrini will make the Olympic team.
False. Nah, not quite ready.
False.
I'll say true.
No,
true
true.
on the taxi squad. I don't think he'll be like
True.
one of the featured guys, but he'll go.
What's hard is like it's the Rob Zamner thing. Like if he's just gonna make the team and be the 13th forward, is that the guy you
Sharks
want?
the Sharks like, could you just leave him here?
There's Thomas. There's Suzuki.
Thomas is going to be on
Yeah.
the team.
right.
Robert
Thomas.
Is it
Robert
so smooth?
Thomas.
Yep.
Nick Suzuki. Going to take Celebrini over one of those guys with a little
Celebrini
bit
might
more.
score. He might be
He's-
5th in the league in goals this year.
He's nasty. Okay, we got quick time. True or false? A team other than Canada will win the gold at the Olympics this year.
False. I mean,
I'm going Canada.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's false. False.
they're the favorite, but they're the favorite.
There's a lot of good teams.
A lot of good teams.
So a lot of people in
False.
some comments that I've picked up are asking us where Valley is.
Right. And do we have an
Steve
answer?
Alliquette.
Steve Elliott will be joining us tomorrow at
Ooh.
3:05 p.m. Eastern.
We are going to dig in deep on this whole goaltending thing.
He's horned up. He can't
ready to go?
wait.
He's so ready.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we
From
got
Ingram to Joseph Wall and Stolars to
Pickard.
Allmark
Oh,
to
boy.
Demko,
Can't wait.
Connor in Winnipeg,
Mark
man.
Scott's it. Can't
Tons to get into. We go deep into the Valley tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Enjoy your ball tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We're back tomorrow.